Hi everyone, welcome to Microma Sutra. We are discussing the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, and this is our third class, and the topic for discussion today is Bacillus, because Bacillus is one of the main culprits of causing food poisoning under you. My dear doctors, my dear children, please understand that the major topic for GIT is Bacillus cereus, but since we are discussing the Bacillus, we will also cover Bacillus anthracis. Although it is a topic of skin, when we will have the discussion over the skin infections, I'll just give a reference and the video of this lecture I'll put in the description for that video, and you can come here and watch it for Bacillus anthracis. But for GIT, the major focus should be on Bacillus cereus. My dear friends, please understand that if you classify the gram-positive rods, you have got spore formation organisms, and in spore formation organisms, one is aerobic and other is anaerobic. So gram-positive rods has spore formation organisms in which one is aerobic, that means utilizes oxygen, and the other one does not utilize oxygen. So the one which utilizes oxygen is Bacillus and the other is Clostridium. Both of them we are going to discuss in subsequent lectures, but remember alphabets A, B, C. Since B comes first, it will utilize oxygen, C comes later, it does not utilize oxygen. Let us understand about the Bacillus anthracis first. Bacillus anthracis. My dear friends, Bacillus anthracis is responsible for causing 𝗲𝗃. So this is this is something which is called as 𝗲𝗃, that is a skin manifestation. Okay, and Bacillus was the first bacteria which was isolated in solid media by Robert Koch. So Robert Koch was the first scientist. He was the first one to isolate solid medium growing bacteria, that was Bacillus anthracis. Okay, so this was the one which was used to prove the Koch postulate. Bacillus is non-motile. Bacillus is non-hemolytic, although all the other Bacillus species are motile and hemolytic. This is a very important line. I am teaching you the introduction. This is just the introductory part, that first of all it is the first bacteria to be isolated by Robert Koch and grown in the solid media. Then it was used to prove the Koch postulate. Remember, it is non-motile and non-hemolytic. The anthrax, it is non-motile and it is non-hemolytic, whereas all the other bacilli are motile and hemolytic. So Bacillus cereus, for example, Bacillus cereus is going to be motile and going to be hemolytic. So when we will discuss about Bacillus cereus, please keep in mind that it is motile and it is hemolytic also. Okay, please remember that it possesses, I always give you this mnemonic B, A, G, and G looks like C. So G means glutamic acid, C means capsule, BA is used for Bacillus anthracis, and remember glutamic acid is a protein, or you can say it is a peptide. So remember that it possesses a polypeptide capsule which is made up of glutamic acid. Okay, now coming on to very important part of this capsule. Okay, this capsule is actually important. So this is the sixth part in the introduction. This capsule is actually very important because remember, for example, this is the organism and this one is the capsule. I have intentionally drawn it from yellow color. Please don't say sir it is not visible. Okay, so this is the capsule. Okay, this yellow one is the capsule. Okay, my dear friends, when you put a dye, which dye? Methylene blue dye. So when I put a dye, that is the methylene blue dye, on this organism, this capsule is going to show amorphous material, and this amorphous material is called, it will be seen, and the moment it will be seen amorphous material, you have to understand that this had undergone a reaction. So capsule, the capsule which was made up of glutamic acid when it is stained with methylene blue dye, it is going to show a reaction, okay, a reaction is going to happen and it leads to the formation of amorphous substance, okay, and this reaction is called as McFadden reaction. This reaction is called as McFadden reaction. So, who shows McFadden reaction? The one who is having capsule. So, remember B for bacillus, A for anthrax, G for glutamic acid, C for capsule, okay, and whose bag? My bag. What is M? M for McFadden reaction. This was about the introduction, okay, and now after introduction we are discussing about the laboratory diagnosis, my friends. So, in laboratory, if you see the McFadden reaction, this is going to be which organism? Bacillus anthracis. Okay. Now, we will talk in general about the bacillus. In fact, other species of bacillus can also show McFadden reaction. Okay. So, you can say this is shown by Bacillus cereus also. So, you can write this point in Bacillus cereus as well. Under microscopy, it shows a bamboo stick appearance. Okay. So, let me just see here. It is showing a appearance like bamboo stick. Okay. So, very simple to remember. B for bacillus. I am talking in general for bacillus. Now, all the points will be talked in general for bacillus. If anything specific, I will tell you this is for anthrax or for cereus, but now all the points will be coming for bacillus, both the bacillus. So, bamboo stick appearance is seen normally, whereas boxcar appearance is seen when it is gram stain. Again, B for bacillus, B for boxcar, B for bamboo stick appearance. Okay, in gram staining because it is a gram positive rod. Coming on to the culture media, the culture media for bamboo is PLET media, that is the selective media, PLET media, whose full form is polymyxin, lysozyme, EDTA and thallus acetate, and yes, it is important to learn its full form. Otherwise, I'll take a bamboo stick, palat ke marunga. I'll make you turn that side and I'll hit. In Hindi, we call it as palat ke marunga. So, palat, PLET is the media for bamboo stick having like bamboo stick appearance. Okay, that is Bacillus anthracis. For those of you who can't understand Hindi, for you the mnemonic is, see, this is P for PLET, and if I just make more round, this becomes B, B for bacillus. Okay. Coming on to the colony morphology, how will you see that? So, this appears as medusa head appearance under microscopy, and if you see with the naked eye, it is just like a frosted glass appearance. Okay. So, how to remember this? Please remember, you remember McFadden reaction? So, with McFadden, M for McFadden, M for medusa head. Okay. So, this is a head of medusa which I am trying to show you, medusa head appearance. But if you see with microscopy, M for microscopy, it is medusa head. Otherwise, it is just a glass, and which glass? It is a frosted glass appearance. Coming on to very important thing, a gelatin stab culture. If you have a gelatin stab, so stab, what is stab culture? I have told you in general microbiology culture methods video, you can go and see there. Gelatin stab culture, if you will see, it gives you a inverted fir tree appearance. So, you can make a tree here. Okay, I will make a tree for you. See, yeah. So, this is a fir tree. Okay, just to make you remember that in gelatin stab, it shows a inverted fir tree. So, please don't forget my glass showing you the medusa head colonies, showing you the frosted glass appearance, showing you the inverted fir tree, although it is not inverted, it is erect, but then inverted fir tree. Okay, yeah. Coming on to the virulence factors. So, remember my dear friends, in the virulence factors, you have got anthrax toxin, which has got 3 components. What are the 3 components? The 3 components, please don't forget. Please don't forget the 3 components. Okay. So, please means P for protective antigen, L for lethal factor, E for edema factor, A for anthrax. So, this is my mnemonic to make you remember this. P for protective antigen. But remember my name, always remember my name. Even if you pass or fail, please don't forget me, my dear son, my dear daughter. Please don't forget me. My dear doctors, if I will use son and daughter, I feel myself very big, okay, very elder. So, my dear friends, my name, so P for protective, A for attachment. Generally, students get attached to their teachers and vice versa. So, anyways, so P and A is important. Protective antigen is for attachment. Lethal factor, as the name suggests, is for cell necrosis. Edema factor. Now, I have told you when we were discussing the toxins that edema. So, it leads to increase in amount of cyclic AMP. So, can you see E is close to A? So, edema factor leads to increase in cyclic AMP. Increase in cyclic AMP increases the fluid levels, and once the fluid levels are increased, it causes edema. Okay. So, there will be edema and cell necrosis by anthrax. So, can you see there is edema plus cell death, which is going to be there with anthrax, and eschar is nothing but this black one inside, my dear friends. This black one inside is the necrosis which is happening, and surroundingly you will see edema. Okay. So, edema plus necrosis factors are responsible. Okay. Anthrax has got this function. So, clinically anthrax is going to exhibit itself in various forms. First of all is skin inoculation, cutaneous anthrax, which I have told you, black scab with red halo, this is called as eschar formation. Okay. So, this is also called as Heat-Labile disease or malignant pustule. So, please remember this. Okay. Heat-Labile disease or malignant pustule, this is how you are supposed to remember them, Heat-Labile disease and malignant pustule. Next is pulmonary anthrax. It can go to your lungs also. It can show the manifestations there. There it is called as 𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗺's disease, or it can do hemorrhage in the mediastinum. So, it can cause hemorrhagic mediastinitis. So, this is the nose and the trachea, then the bronchus, the lungs. So, it can either cause the pulmonary anthrax called as 𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗺's disease, or it can cause hemorrhagic mediastinitis. The third one is, if ingested, it can cause intestinal anthrax. So, this is important for your food poisoning, but it is rare, and it can go to your brain causing the cerebral anthrax. Okay. So, remember it is a category A bioterrorism antigen agent. Okay. Category A. Okay. This is very important. In fact, I would like to tell you that most of the diarrheal agents are category A bioterrorism agents only. Okay. So, what clinical features I have discussed? I have told you either the skin or the inhalation or the ingestion, or you can remember inoculation, inhalation, ingestion. Okay. What is the treatment? How will you treat anthrax? In order to treat anthrax, the drug of choice is penicillin. Why? How to remember? See, P for penicillin, and if you one curve, if you will add, it will become bacillus. So, you will give penicillin. Then other things is ciprofloxacin and vancomycin, which you can give. So, remember bacillus, B and C come together, C for ciprofloxacin and vancomycin. Vaccine is available for anthrax, but for only high risk group of people. Okay. So, this was about the Bacillus anthrax. Now, we will discuss Bacillus cereus, that is one of the most common culprit which is responsible for causing food poisoning. Okay. So, remember, as I have told you that this is motile, this is hemolytic, responsible for causing food poisoning. So, Bacillus cereus, remember cereus, C for cereus, C for Chinese. So, if you eat a lot of Chinese fried rice or some reheated starchy food, you can develop Bacillus cereus. Honestly, nowadays it's a fashion of reheated starchy foods. Chinese fried rice, yummy, but it can cause Bacillus cereus infection. Okay. So, it has got two types. One is the emetic type. So, this emetic type is just like staph. Why? Because the incubation period is very less, just 1 to 6 hours. Okay. But the other one is diarrheal type. Okay. So, D for diarrheal, D for delayed. That means it is going to show the symptoms a little late, like 8 to 12 hours, after 8 to 12 hours, and this is just like E. coli. So D and E come together, so E for E. coli. Okay. So what is the culture media in which Bacillus cereus grows? It grows in Mannitol Egg Polymyxin phenol red agar. Oh my god. Okay. So please remember your teacher perv, my perv. It will be easy for you to remember. My perv is cereus. Oh my god. Huh? Cereus means serious. Bacillus cereus. Perv means PR. Polymyxin phenol red. My perv means MY. Mannitol Egg Polymyxin red. Polymyxin phenol red. And the treatment for Bacillus cereus, C for cereus, C for ciprofloxacin, okay, and V for vancomycin. One should be serious for their CV. If you have got a good CV, definitely you are going to get a good job placement. Alright, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next class.